Peter Lloyd with that report, and the WikiLeaks papers have also raised issues about cooperation between Australian troops in Afghanistan and local private security companies. Tom Cooks with this report, and the story was produced by Ash Sweeting in Afghanistan.
These trucks are literally the lifeline for coalition bases in Afghanistan. They keep the troops supplied with food, fuel and ammunition, and they travel over the most dangerous roads in the world. But convoys are under almost constant attack from insurgents and roadside bombs. The roads are supposed to be protected by the Afghan police, but the police are often outgunned by the insurgents or are bribed to look the other way, and sometimes the police are the insurgents. So to keep the convoys moving, the foreign forces have resorted to local security companies. And this is the man that the coalition relies on to keep the road open between Kandahar and the Australian, US and Dutch base at Tarin Kowt. Madiullah Khan is the most powerful warlord in the southern Uruzgan province. He earns millions of dollars a year guarding NATO road convoys, and he commands an armed militia of over 2,000 men. And according to Madiullah himself, he works closely with the Australian forces in Uruzgan.
The Australians have changed their tactics. They were going on missions alone. The Australians did not know about the Afghan traditions. Now we work together. For the last 6 to 8 months, I've given them my soldiers. Since then, there hasn't been any problems in the whole province, and nobody has been angry with the Australians.
Madiullah clearly has powerful friends. According to a report in the intelligence database leaked to the WikiLeaks organisation, coalition troops picked up 2 men carrying unregistered guns and bomb-making equipment. After US Special Forces confirmed that one of them was Madiullah's brother, they were released. But a few days earlier, in late November last year, Madiullah's men were caught red-handed in an extortion attempt on the very road they're paid to protect. A NATO fuel convoy reported it had been held up by a group of 100 insurgents armed with heavy machine guns. They demanded payment of $3,000 for each truck to pass, and eventually it became clear they weren't insurgents, but Madiullah's militia. US forces sent 2 helicopters and an armoured convoy to negotiate, but Madiullah refused to budge, saying he needed the money to run his operation. 6 hours later, after many desperate calls to government officials in Kabul, he let the convoy through without payment. Afghan security companies have been called a vast protection racket by a US government report released last month. And according to some Afghan politicians, the companies even resort to paying insurgents to attack the convoys to make their services more valuable.
In this case, usually the leaders of the security companies are pay the money for the Taliban or other local people to attack the convoys, to show the other foreigners that if you don't pay the money for us, then there's a lot of problem that can be created.
In Afghanistan, the concern is that security companies have spawned a whole new range of warlords, growing rich on the huge inflow of foreign cash. And far from providing security, they actually make the country far more dangerous.
The complaints are there about the security companies assisting the Taliban, and also on the other side we also receive reports and complaints from the public that there is a negative competitions among the security companies themselves. They are sometimes attacking each other.
The Australian Defence Force refused to comment on any extortion attempts by Madiullah Khan, but said that he's an influential figure in the Uruzgan community and that Australian troops engage with him on this basis. But US lawmakers are becoming increasingly concerned that the massive amounts of money they're pumping into the Afghan economy could actually be fueling the insurgency. Tom Cooks, Late Line.